Hi, and thanks for joining me for yoga today. I'm Sarah, and I'm so grateful to have you as part of my YouTube community. Let's start our yoga practice today. I'll see you there. Grab your mat. Let's get started. Let's start today's practice sitting in hero pose, rooting down through the tops of your feet. Knees are coming in to touch, and rest your hands on your thighs for a moment. Sit up nice and tall. And go ahead and sweep your hands around and lightly interlace your fingers with the palms separated. Track your knuckles down, draw your belly in, lift your chest, and look up. Opening across the collarbones. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to melt your belly over the thighs. And then on your inhale, draw the belly in, come on up. Draw the arms away from your back, look up. And then exhale. Come forward, peel the arms away as you fold, and then belly in on the inhale. Look up, and then exhale, melt forward, peel the arms away. Just warming up a little bit. We're going to inhale, stand up on the knees, drop the knuckles down, lift your chest, and then exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Take a moment to set your intention for practice. What do you want to cultivate here today? And then start to hoist your right foot forward. Right knee is over the heel. Sink your hips forward and down. And just be in that position for a moment and slide your hands onto your lower back. Draw your lower back into your hands and point your elbows straight back. Lift your chest. Root through the top of that left foot as you inhale. As you exhale, release your hands to frame that front foot and send your hips back. Curl your right toes toward your face. Fold into that Ardha Hanumanasana. You could always stay with the fingertips about under the shoulders if that feels more accessible, or walk your hands forward. Take more of a deep fold, wrapping that right thigh bone right into the hip socket and breathing for a moment, peeking at your right hip. Then when you inhale, glide your right knee forward over the heel. Now sweep your arms forward and up into crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up right away from the hips. Inhale, look up at the hands in the air. Exhale, release your hands to frame that front foot. We're going to tuck the left toes, lift your left thigh, lift your hips, and then slide that right foot back into a downward dog. Pedal out your feet in this first downward dog of this practice, spreading your fingers wide, feeling the length of the spine lifting right up through the sitting bones. And lift your heels and wave into your plank pose on the inhale. Elbows in on your exhale, lower down, Chaturanga, coming onto your belly. Take your feet flat for cobra pose on the inhale. Shoulder blades glide down the back. Exhale, gather the belly, hips to heels, tuck your toes, meet back in downward dog. Breathing there. Keep the knees opening over the second toe so they don't collapse in. And as you wrap your inner thighs up and back, experience a spacious lower back sacrum. Now wave into plank. Bring your knees down into tabletop. Send the hips to heels, coming into child's pose. Pressing the hands away from your heels. Then stand up on your knees, reach back behind, interlace the awkward non-habitual finger on top. Track the shoulder blades on the back. Drop your knuckles down between your heels. Inhale, lift your chest straight up. Exhale to neutral. Take your hands to your hips. Slide that left foot forward and sink down. So the right knee is behind your hip so that the inner thighs can scissor apart as you drop that left knee forward. You don't have to overdo. Good. And then release your hands to frame that front foot and start to send your hips back. Curl your left toes toward your face. The right hip is about over the knee, maybe slightly behind. You can either stay up on your fingertips with the hands under your shoulders and just look kind of neutral forward, or if you feel you want more stretch, more length in this posture, walk your fingertips forward and begin to fold and peek toward your left hip. So the edge of that left heel anchors into the ground. We breathe there. Now on your inhale, glide through. I think we're going to take the top of the right foot flat and then walk your hands to the left thigh and then reach your arms right up. And as you reach up, interlace the awkward finger on top, press the palms up toward the sky, lifting up through the side ribs. Look up on your inhale. Exhale, hands frame that front foot. Tuck your right toes, lift your right thigh, plant your palms, and slide that left foot back into downward facing dog. Find the exhale, lifting up through your lower back. And then inhale, wave into plank. See that your first fingers are parallel. Keep a line from the back of the head to the tailbone as you hug your elbows in and lower down toward the belly, Chaturanga. Take your feet flat for Cobra pose. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, hips to heels. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up into downward dog. Smooth inhale. Long, slow exhale. Straightening the legs a little more if you can. Keep rooting through the index finger and thumb and spreading the fingers wide and spreading the four corners of the palms. Lift your heels high, come on to tiptoes. Keep lifting the sitting bones as you tiptoe forward, right between your thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the ground or the shins. Look forward. Exhale, melt your belly to the thighs. Uttanasana. Now inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, wave up, lengthen. Lift the back of the head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Find Tadasana with your arms alongside the body. Take your hands to your hips, shift into your right foot, lift your left knee, flex your left foot as you inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back and down into warrior two. So it's about heel to heel alignment with the back toes turned slightly in. The right toes point straight ahead. Drop your right knee over the heel. Then lift your arms up in space to a T. Gaze over the right fingertips. Now inhale, straighten the front leg. Look to your left hand. Press through your left foot. Exhale, palms down. Warrior two. Inhale, root through the feet to lift up. Look to the left and exhale, drop down. Warrior two. Inhale, look left. Exhale, warrior two. Turn your right palm up and reverse your warrior. Left hand to left thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over, gazing up beyond your right elbow. Now straighten your right leg all the way without locking or hyperextending that right knee. So inhale, reach the right fingertips over toward the back of your mat. Now exhale, wrap that right sitting bone under the pelvis. Nice deep crease in that right hip crease. Then we reach from that right hip crease all the way out through the right fingertips, reaching long, long, long. Then touch your right hand either on your ankle, maybe a high yoga block, or the fingertips are touching on the outer right heel. And then have your left hand resting on your hip, with the left hip point rolling forward a little bit. That will give your left lower back a little better alignment. Then, if it's available, we then wrap that right rib toward the left rib and extend your left fingertips up and look at the hand in the air for triangle pose. Inhale, looking up at the hand in the air. Exhale, bend your right knee. Swing your left heel over the toes. Left tented fingers come a little wider than the shoulder, or your left palm can be all the way on the ground. And then your right hand can come onto your back, or extend your right fingertips straight up. Engage and squeeze your left gluteal. Lift that left thigh bone up into your hip. Look at the hand on the air on the inhale. Exhale, release your hand to frame that front foot and slide that right foot back into downward dog. If it's in your practice to go through that Chaturanga flow, you could do that, or stay in downward dog if you want to give your shoulders a rest. Lift both heels high, come on to tiptoes. Tiptoe forward right between the thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Press through the feet, inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands come down through the central channel. Hands on your hips. Press through your left foot, lift your right foot. Inhale. Exhale, step that right heel back and down. Find your warrior two position where the thigh bones are lifting right up into the hip sockets very securely. Then open your arms out, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms up, look right. Exhale, bend, warrior two, look left. Inhale, root through the feet to lift through the crown, gaze right. Exhale, drop down, warrior two. Inhale, look right, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, warrior two. Turn your left palm up, reverse warrior. Right hand to right thigh. Left arm sweeps up and over. Keep dropping that left thigh bone down. Then straighten that left leg all the way on the inhale. Exhale, tuck that hip crease, left hip crease and sitting bone under the pelvis. Reach long from that left hip all the way through the left fingertips. Left hand touches on your ankle or the block or the floor. And there's not a lot of pressure in that left hand. The legs are very strong. The toes are soft. Wrap the left rib toward the right rib, and you can keep your right hand on your back or drift the right fingertips up. Think of turning the torso more so than trying to tug or pull your right shoulder or arm back in space. Think more of turning left rib toward right rib. And then that arm naturally aligns into the shoulder, and you look up without too much tension in the neck. If your neck fatigues, you can look down. We'll take one more inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee, release your right hand down, swing the right heel over the toes. Right hand's a little wider than the shoulder, left hand's on your back, and you lift your sacrum up. You keep hugging that left knee in, and you can extend your left fingertips up if that feels okay. Good. If you can look at the hand in the air, great, or you can look neutral or down. We're going to take one more inhale, fill the belly with the breath. Exhale, pull the belly in, release your left hand down, plant your palms, step into plank, lift your belly, touch your knees down, hug your elbows in, come onto your belly. Take your feet flat, reach your arms around, root through the pelvis, lift up Shalabhasana, locust pose. Hug your inner thighs in and down, reach your fingers back. Inhale, gaze ahead, lift your toes back. Exhale, release. Palms under the elbows, press back in a child's pose. Knees a little wide, big toes touch. Nestle those hips back. Let go in your chest. Remember your intention for practice today. Start to press through the tops of the feet. Drop your tail toward your toes. Gather your belly and roll up onto your heels, sitting on your heels. And then scooch over to the right, gently swing the legs around. And when you swing the legs around, we're going to bring the soles of feet together, let your knees splay open. Walk your fingertips toward your lower back. Sit up and roll forward. Inner thighs roll forward toward the mat. Then reach your arms up. Look up on the inhale. Exhale, reach forward and fingertips touch the ground, or you could cup your hands around your toes. And go ahead and fold. Chin toward chest. Spread your chest forward. Breathe space into the back ribs. Holding for another breath. And then slowly come on up. Bring the knees in. Slide the legs out straight. Scoot yourself forward. And then make your way down onto the back. Coming down onto the back, feet hip-width distance apart. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Right foot is flexed. If it's available, thread the needle, slip your right hand in between that space in the legs. And then interlace your hands in the left knee crease or the front of the shin for figure 4. The knees are drawing away from your shoulder joints. The back of the head is rested. Relax your jaw, Relax your eyes, and you can rock gently, loosening up that hip. Always returning to a smooth, steady breath and a sense of ease in your effort. Now hug the legs in, uncross, full happy baby, reaching around for the outside ankles or the outside edges of the feet. Soles of feet face the sky. Plug your shoulder blades into the ground and open your elbows away from each other. Rock a little bit if that feels good. A lot of softness on the sides of the neck, down in between the shoulder blades and right out through the tail. And then we're going to release the feet onto the floor, hip width distance. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh, thread the needle, and take your hands in the right knee crease or the front of the shin. Press the left lower back toward the ground and just hang out there, noticing the area of the most tension. Sometimes just noticing and being deeply aware of the sensation can help to ease and soften that tension. So we're bringing awareness down into the body and less focus on the monkey mind, the busy mind, letting the brain and mind relax. Then hug the legs a little closer in, uncross, come back to full happy baby, reaching for the outer edges of the feet or the ankles. And you may be able to press the heels a little bit away from the hips, more toward a V shape. And then release, draw the knees in toward the body and curl yourself into a ball, knees to shin. Bringing the knees toward your eyes. Inhale, back ribs. Exhale, let your head fall back. Bring your feet onto the ground. Take your feet mat width distance and take a few windshield wipers with the knees side to side. Bringing out tension in your back and hips. Imagining a nice flow from the feet right up through the hip joints, right up through the crown of the head. And then bringing the knees back to center, slide the legs out straight. Make your way into Shavasana, palms facing up. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your eyes. In Shavasana, the final posture, this is where you allow all the movement and energy that you shifted to metabolize and settle. You take a few intentional moments to rest and let go of any effort and let yourself be. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, only to relax. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you would like today. A lot of light and space flowing through all the cells and in the joints. And let's come into a gratitude practice today, whatever you have to be grateful for, celebrating that, focusing on that, wiggling your fingers and toes, and gently hug the knees in toward your body, inviting compassion for exactly where you're at, thanking yourself for showing up to practice today. And then slowly roll your way to either side and rest in the fetal position for a moment, and then slowly press up to sit, and I'll see you there. Here we are again in an upright seat. Bring your hands to heart center and thank yourself again for showing up. And I thank you for joining me and wish you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and trust on the journey. Namaste. And as always, I'm so grateful for having you in class, and I appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel, and the super thanks button also helps support me and my efforts. So look forward to our next practice together. Until then, take care.